What up, man? The real coach JB here. Listen, man, Stanford head coach Troy Taylor, a friend of mine, is fired after stemming allegations from supposedly some female staffers that he yelled at them too much and used some words of, let's say, profanity. Listen, man, this is an absolute fucking mockery. This is why women belong nowhere near men and football spaces and men's spaces. And I'll be the one to fucking say it. Yeah. This is a fucking joke. And we are allowing our men to be fucking emasculated by these fucking non-caring assholes of America. And Andrew Luck, shame on your motherfucking ass. Aren't you the same motherfucker who quit on his team in the summer? Aren't you the same motherfucker who's never even fucking ran a football program, but yet now you're making decisions just because you were a good player? It's a fucking joke.
It is a joke. Here's the issue I have. Just say he's 3-9 and be a real one, Andrew Luck. Number one. Number two, what gives the fucking general manager the authority to fire everyone now? So I've done some research, and I'm like, what the fuck's a general manager in college football? Never heard of it before. It's now become a prevalent thing. Ron Rivera was just hired at Cal. It's usually some sort of figurehead of the former university. Ron Rivera coached the current head coach at Cal. And so that's why I saw that fit. Andrew Luck is a Stanford alum, Hall of Famer, college Hall of Famer. So they throw him in there as the general manager who has zero experience, not even coaching Pop Warner, but he puts him right at Stanford where he played at. And then he is the first general manager to fire a coach. So I was like, what is a general manager? Well, the general manager is basically replaced what we used to call, Smitty, the DFO. The director of football operations. That's who used to hand that was the person, a woman or a man, that would hand like the seating arrangements to Smitty and the hotel room ticket, a key to Smitty, and tell Smitty and the players if they got per diem or not, and what hotel room they're going to be in and what time shit was at. That was that guy or girl.
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
I never knew that guy could now fire the head football coach. But that used to be the director of football operations. Now it's called the football general manager, whatever the fuck that is. This guy right here is a woke, fucking liberal, fucking spineless jellyfish who lied about his real injuries in the NFL, who got paid $25 million for being a fucking coward, quitting on his team in the fucking late months of August before the season started, giving Irsay no quarterback, giving their team and roster a complete rehaul. And this is the guy who you fucking hired to fire a coach because he yelled at a fucking staffer who happened to be in the office, who happened to be female, who shouldn't even be around the fucking men anyway? Shame on you, you spineless fucking jellyfish. Why don't you lie some more about your fucking skiing incident, who you came out and admitted that's what really got you hurt. And then now all of a sudden you're okay by taking the money that you got paid, though, motherfucker. And now you want to fire a dude who, by the way, everybody raves about. You can go talk to women, men, you name it. So we clearly know this is a fucking witch hunt because you're spineless and you don't have the gall or the balls to say, hey, Troy, you just went 3-9 2 years in a row. That's why I want to fire you. Instead, like most liberal bitch-ass motherfuckers do, they want to blackball you so you don't get another job. They want to cancel you because that's what cancel culture fucking vultures do. By the way, this guy now will blackball this man so he can't get another job because he's going to use the narrative that he was mean to women. When in fact, all you really had to say was he went 3-9 2 years in a row, and that's why we're moving on. Real simple and cut and clear. That's all you had to fucking do. But shame on you and shame on the president of Stanford and everybody else involved for allowing this man to get thrown to the wolves and under the bus in the manner that he is being thrown. Because you're making up complete false allegations about a man being attacked in attack mode versus women. Shame on us for allowing this shit. And shame on Stanford, who apparently is one of the greatest academic institutions in America. Shame on you for allowing this to happen to a good man, good coach, and a dude who just wants to help kids and get better and be a mentor to folks. And that's what you've now eliminated in college football. That's what you're trying to eliminate going forward with this shit like this. And it's a fucking mockery. It's a shame. And I don't know what's happened to men in football. I don't know what's happened to our own men's spaces. But this right here is a joke. And maybe one day, Smitty, you'll see that they'll try to infiltrate us more and more and more. And there'll be no men coaching men. There'll be women coaching men. And you'll be looking back at it like, holy shit, JB was right 10 years ago. But what do I know, Smitty? I'm fucking sick to my stomach right now about this man losing his job in this way. Lose your job, fired. I don't give a fuck. We've all been fired at this profession. Don't lie about it and blame a woman for coming forward saying that he was too mean and vulgar. And now you know fucking damn well, Smitty, in the corporate world, he ain't going to get another job now because of that. Not because of the 3-9. It's because of the allegations that's totally fucking skewed up. And that's the problem I have today.
Man, that was a strong rant, man. Powerful rant. Definitely respect. You know, I don't agree with everything you said, but I respect what you said and why you said it. For me, and we talked about this the other day. The reason why this is tough for me is because I still to this day, unless they put it out and correct me if I'm wrong, I still don't know exactly what those alleged comments were. Because to me, that matters. If it's just as simple as him raising his voice and the ladies being uncomfortable, I'm with you 100%.
Well, that's it. That is what it is.
If that's literally that's all it was. But for it to be this big of a deal and for them to have, multiple people, go out and comment and put the story out and do this and then a third, I understand your anger towards Andrew Luck, but from an optics standpoint, being the GM, apparently the leader of this football team and knowing the brand of Stanford, optically, it doesn't look good if you keep him as the head coach when you've had all these complaints, specifically and especially when it's coming from women, because let's be real, we know the climate that we're in today. So when multiple women are coming out and saying that you're being disrespectful or harmful or in any assault, any sort of way. And of course, he didn't do that. He didn't assault. I want to make that clear. I'm just saying anything underneath that umbrella, then there's going to be consequences and repercussions. So I just wish that, now that he's gone, maybe he'll, I don't know. I say maybe he'll speak up, but at the same time, he's probably trying to find another job. So short term, he probably won't say anything. But I just wish that we could find out the specifics of what was said to where I can give a clear answer on what I think. If he didn't say anything that crazy, he shouldn't be fired because of that. Be fired because you're right. He went 3-9 last 2 years. That's not acceptable. I know it's your boy, but if you go 3-9 2 years at Stanford, yeah, it probably makes sense to get up out of there for that reason. But to your point, getting fired for this, it's gonna be a wrap. Hey, there's no other team's gonna hire him. He's gonna be blackballed, and he's gonna have to figure out probably a new career. And it sounds crazy. Maybe some people in the chat like we're overblowing it, but nah, that's the fact. That's the fact. No team, no school's gonna want to touch him because of this and the optics that it brings. So it's unfortunate, and I just hope that we get some more information though, which I don't know if it's gonna come out. But
I'm tired of unfortunate, and I'm tired of you saying nothing. That's what you just did right now. You didn't say anything. So here's the thing. You said a lot of shit that didn't say anything. Here's the issue I have.
The problem is because I don't want to give a strong case and say he shouldn't be fired when I don't know what he said.
But you're leaning on the other side, though. That's the problem.
I'm giving you
that's
sides.
the mainstream issue.
If he disrespected them in a way that's inappropriate, then yes, optically as the GM, you have to let him go.
Here's one flaw.
If he did not, and all he did was raise his voice, then no, he should still be there. That's
here's
literally
the flaw
what
I have with you.
But
here's
we
the flaw
don't
I
know.
have.
You're leaning to the side that he did not disrespect because that's your homeboy. And I get it, that's your friend.
Yeah. Well, I know he didn't.
My friend too. I get it.
He was just coaching. That's the problem that's the problem you're dismissing. He was just coaching.
You know that for a fact?
Yeah, he was just coaching like normal, right? Raising his voice at coaches and yelling and getting after. And that's how we coach. That's why we play football, right?
Yeah, if that's the truth, yes, you're correct. Yeah.
And that's how you've heard many coaches yell at other coaches, right? You've heard that, right?
Yep.
And then there's a woman coach because that's what they made him hire. And then she's now in her feelings because she got yelled at. And then they came forward and said there's vulgarity in the office and there's no place for this. Well, actually, that is the place for it. That is the place for it. And there's a reason why Shaun was fired at Stanford also, by the way, for losing a lot of games. Yeah. So maybe this guy needs to change something. See, when it was quiet and nice and nobody cussed, they lost at Independence. When I came in and I cussed and I was a mean guy and all this, we won it all. I don't know if people realize that, how football kind of works sometimes. Shock treatment it's called. But here's a
they lost with this guy regardless of if he was young or not. So not only they lost and he was yelling.
Just started. Here's the issue I have with your take though. The take is he has to stay quiet. That specifically came out of your mouth. He has to stay quiet because he's going to try to get another job. See, there's another good friend of mine who I'll try to get on the show. He's now coaching in the XFL, UFL, whatever they call it now. Nick Rolovich, who was the head coach at Washington State, because he said, I'm not going to take the shot. Mm-hmm. And the University of Washington State said, oh, well, we're going to fire you then. And he has a lawsuit still pending and all this stuff.
Yep.
But he had to stay quiet, Smitty, and see what happened. How'd that work out? See, when we stay quiet, nothing ever changes. We just get canceled, and then we get thrown to the wolves. And then the narrative out there is that JB said anti-Semitic terms against Hitler, and JB had 8 felonies because he had to stay quiet. Well, nah, JB's not going to stay quiet. I'm not going to take a plea when I know I didn't fucking do shit, and I'm going to go say eat a big old fucking dick. That's how I am, right? Rolovich was the same way. Nick and I are good friends. Nick and I are both JUCO guys. We'll trip to Hawaii together. He ended up playing there. Great dude. I'm glad he's back coaching. But he had to stay quiet because that's what lawyers tell you to do.
Exactly.
Stay quiet when it comes to criminal alleged issues or professional alleged issues that happen in the workplace, workspace. So now he can't go and try to defend his name and honor and character. He has to stay quiet, and then everyone bashes him. And then guess what happens over time, Smitty? They forget you. JB's been forgotten in the coaching world. Nick Rolovich was forgotten for 4 years. He still can't get a coaching job in college if you haven't noticed. So how do you go from being a head coach at Washington? I mean, how do you go from being a head coach at Hawaii and OC in Nevada and then head coach at Wazoo, and then now all of a sudden you're forgotten? No one knows you at all? Like in the profession? You telling me that's not just, oh, Sark, you want to hire Nick Rolovich? Can't do that. You just hear that coming down from admin. That's how it works, man. You just hear it come from the president and AD. And then they'll let you hang yourself. That's how cold these fuckers are. They'll let you hang yourself. Well, Sark, if you want to hire them, tread lightly. And then motherfucker just walk out. And so now you're like, well, fuck it. So I got to win it all then is what he's saying to me. I got to win the whole fucking thing if I hire this dude, because if I lose one game and hire him, I'm fired. That's what I just heard. That's what I just heard. So this shit is unbelievable. You stay quiet because you want to get another job. And then at the end of the day, 3-4 years goes by, Smitty, and you stayed quiet. And now your character's assassinated while you stayed quiet and you still didn't get a job. Fuck that. I ain't bending over for nobody, homie. This is why this fucking world is fucked up right now. And it's all over a female who you come on this show and say, shame on those females who falsely accuse men, especially inner city men, college dorm rooms and other places for essays and R words and all these things.
Some of the worst things you can do to lie.
So what's the difference here, homie, when they accuse
I don't know the information if there's lying. That's the thing.
What I'm saying, though, you don't have it in that case either, Smitty.
I respect that. But
Smitty, you don't have it in that case either.
What the man was saying. It's not just one woman. If it was one woman, it's multiple women. It's not just coaches. It's women in the what you call it office. It's like most. So it's like, okay, maybe
multiple women accuse multiple women accuse Ray Buford at Minnesota.
I hear you.
Multiple women accuse Dior Johnson at Minnesota.
I'm with you.
JB had to take.
We don't know.
Guess what? I had to take them. You know what happened after that? Mina Kimes, Sarah Spain, fucking Taylor Rooks, all attacked me for helping black kids, by the way. The white boy from Compton helping black kids who were falsely accused by females, homie.
I know the story.
Females, homie. And then we're sitting here talking about multiplicity. Guess what? Multiple women accused them falsely. And nobody came forward, homie. And now we have females, multiple ones, accusing a coach in a workspace around men falsely. And now we're saying, be quiet. Stop. Don't say nothing. Now, fuck that, homie. These kids got fucked, by the way.
If we can prove that they're lying, then they should be fired and removed from coaching or working in the profession.
Can you just tell G Wizzy to shut the fuck up?
Saying?
Can you tell your homies G Wizzy to shut the fuck up? Tell him he's wrong.
I'm not sure.
Just say he's wrong, Smitty. Just say he's wrong. You're wrong, because you know better. Say he's wrong and shut the fuck up. That's all you need to tell him.
I'm not even touching that. But my point is, you're defending them harder than any of his assistant coaches are. Why ain't them assistant coaches stepping out and saying nothing? Because they're in the rooms. They know. They would know directly if he's disrespected or not. Like, all I'm saying is this.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm saying, well, let me ask you a question. Are any of his coaches on that Stanford staff, has any of them came out and defended him? Is what I'm asking.
Can't talk about anything and why there's an investigation. So right now, he's just been fired. So now what will happen? All his assistants will get fired. And then guess what? Then they're gonna do the Smitty role. They're going to have to do what you just said.
What, be quiet?
I can't talk if I want a new job, homie. What? Especially a young brother. Let's be real. Darnell Smith's coaching D-line at, let's say, 28, 29, 30 years old was a GA.
Yeah.
By the way, Troy Taylor gave him an opportunity.
Right.
Brought him from Sac State, because I know 3 coaches on the staff that are young black kids that were younger that were at Sac State with him, and one was at Utah. They come now over to the big dog, Stanford. Who the fuck's going to hire these 3 young brothers that nobody knows yet in the profession if they come out defending their mentor, Troy Taylor, and saying, man, Troy hasn't done anything wrong? What administrative staff is going to allow that young brother to get hired, homie? Come on, man. This is bigger shit, dog.
It's just a sticky situation, though, because
it ain't really, though.
It is, though, because listen, if you're right, let's assume you're right, and Troy didn't say nothing actually wrong, right? And you're just overblowing this. This is like he's getting his career ruined. The staff is getting fired. Like, this is a huge causations of these accusations that if he did not do it, this is crazy. Like, this is horrible. Like, what they're doing. Like, this would be something that if it's able to get proved again, those ladies' career should be ruined the same way if they're lying. But in the event that Troy Taylor has been saying some wild stuff to these ladies, there has to be also consequences to that. All I'm saying is, JB, is at least open your mind up to the possibility that a coach could not be like JB and could potentially be saying something they shouldn't be saying. That's all I'm saying. Troy well, so maybe for you it's like, nah, that's the homie. I know how he get down. He wouldn't do that. Cool, I respect that. I don't know Troy from Adam. I don't know him at all. So I'm speaking from a neutral standpoint of having no idea who Troy Taylor is or how he coaches or how he would get down. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But you just
I don't want my name out there defending somebody so heavily, though I don't know. And then a few weeks come out, and then real information comes out, and we're like, "Oh shoot!"
You notice how we do this?
I can't do that.
You notice how you did that, though. You notice how you falsely accused this man just now. You didn't defend him. You accused him.
I did it. I don't know how I did it.
Well, if you rewind it, that's what you just said. You just said, you just said if he went personally and attacked these women, then you gotta also talk about that, JB. I know that's your boy. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. What was the first if though that I said before that? You didn't hear the first if saying that if they're lying, they should be. You didn't hear that whole thing I said before that?
I did, but that's not what you're pushing. You're pushing a fact that he went and personally attacked these women. Like if he went personally over to their house, like this is a fucking workspace in a football office. This is a football locker room environment. Football coaches' facilities. Like, why are we even accusing anything of being personal here? Like, this is the problem with these soft motherfuckers out here. They want to make everything personal, homie. This ain't personal. It's business. When did it become personal? When you put women in spaces of men that can't handle the vulgarity that goes along with it. That's why they don't go to the same bathrooms, homie, and hold a motherfucker's dick from pissing. That's why they sit down and wipe. There's a fucking huge difference, homie. That's the problem. But we don't want to talk about that. We want to automatically go on the side and the caution of error as if he did something in a manner to attack this woman personally, which were your words, which is not personal at all. This is a office space environment that's teaching boys to be men, and now we want to make it into a feel-good story because females are now around. But that's the problem we're forgetting. The whole issue is we're dismissing the fact that there's women involved in a men's space. And now we have to walk on eggshells and do everything accordingly to cancel culture vultureism because we're worried about saying something that we can't even say anymore in the locker room environment. We can't talk about pussy no more. We can't talk about the titty bar. We can't just fucking shoot the shit being guys doing guy things. But women can go have girls' day every fucking day. They could have women's month every fucking month. And I ain't heard of a man's fucking month. I ain't had a man day. I ain't heard of fucking none of that shit. But we got to walk on eggshells. We got to fucking pave the way. But the women just skate by and can get you fired and divorce you and take your bread. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm so fucking tired of these women.
You get deep with it now.
These fucking women in this men's space shit, homie. I'll be the last one to stand on the hill, and I'll stand alone. I give a fuck. Fuck these women in men's spaces.